car with the comfortable drive of an SUV. So some of the things adjustability wise, so that they added, so when you pull this up in an SVR and you turn this into dynamic mode, it's going to fully change the car. It changes your gauges, how everything looks, the shift points. You can swipe through the car and actually set up the vehicle the way you want it. Vehicle dimensions. So what I like to do when I'm driving, so you click through here and you can go into your driver assistance. You go into display settings. You click full screen map. So what that does is it turns this screen completely into your map, and then your heads-up display gives you still your speed, so you're not really losing that. It's still down there as well, but you have it on top on the windshield. This is kind of how you can navigate, and this still stays on your radio, so if you're still in here with your phone. So the exhaust is on loud, so you can turn it down, obviously, so it is a comfortable drive, but if you do want to have some fun with the car, you can turn the exhaust, on. Get a little bit more of a rumble to it. Having the exhaust designed by Ducati for the car is why this car sounds so amazing. All SVRs. So everything, so in this car, if you're not in performance mode, so typically when I'm driving, it's either in auto or you turn it into snow mode. The snow mode in this car is still fun to drive, but it totally controls it. If you try to take a corner and accelerate, it doesn't let it go anywhere. It takes over the vehicle essentially. The reason I like Range Rovers and why we probably sell more Range Rovers in the winter than we do in the summer is because you take one of these cars out in the winter and you find the real difference between it and just what people call 4x4s or, all-wheel drive SUVs. Most SUVs on the market have what's called like a reactive 4x4. So what reactive 4x4 means is it senses slippage on the road and then it adjusts. Most of the time it adjusts just front or back, but it doesn't adjust per wheel. Why they call these cars a active 4x4 is it can sense within a millisecond, under 100th of a millisecond slippage before it even gets to the wheel that senses it in the drive line, and then it'll adjust the power needed to what wheel before the vehicle even knows it's slipped. So it can adjust for a slippage that hasn't even happened yet, which is why we set up the lot with spaces, so we leave snow intentionally so people can drive around and actually see the difference in the car.
So it's a Minority Report car.
Yes, pretty much. It knows it's happened before it's happened. So paddle shifting, obviously, so if you want to control your shift points, and that's the nice thing about this car, it's really, when Morgan's in the car, my wife's in the car, my wife's driving, you can drive this thing like a normal human, in drive, in snow mode, normal height, no active exhaust, no noise. The minute you want to have some fun, you dial it into dynamic, you shift it to sport, you control your shift points, and you can really have fun.
Holy shit.
Yeah, not something you'd expect in an SUV. So it has blind spot monitoring. Another feature add to the new cars was blind spot warning. So if someone rips up beside you or someone comes up really fast beside you and you didn't realize, they're going into your blind spot, it's going to actually blink at you saying, hey, someone's going to be in your blind spot. It's like a future warning saying they're not there yet, but they're driving fast enough that they're going to be. So you might want to recognize that and not try to switch lanes in front of them. One thing they added as well is with the air ride suspension, you can adjust the height of the car. Obviously, if you get stuck, you can lift it up and get out, but if it has now an auto access height, so the car actually will drop down about 1.5 inches for you to get in and out of the car a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for kids getting in and out of the car, and you don't have to set that anymore. The minute the car goes into park and you take off your seatbelt, it'll automatically drop the car down without you even knowing. So just another feature add, but people love it, especially families. People get into the backseat. You're not constantly adjusting the suspension on your own. It just does it for you. That air suspension is the reason too why they've had it in these cars forever, is to put traction on the ground. So that air ride not only makes the car comfortable, but it also makes the tires on the ground a lot more pressure on the ground, because it's constantly adjusting the pressures in the airbags. It's also why Range Rovers on the highway, especially in Alberta, ride so smooth. It's not something you would have in other cars with fixed suspensions or adjustable